Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Business, welcome back. And yeah, I'm in the Minotaur again, as I promised. There's still more footage to come, but we've got another 20 plus minutes of the Minotaur in stupid situations and crazy scenarios that happen. And this is one of them. So, take a look at the minimap. I am alone. I'm so alone. There's a Hindenburg and the Moskva coming around. And there's also a Gearing that's making his move here, which isn't the greatest of ideas. So this ship absolutely annihilates any destroyer it comes across at close range. And I may have been able to avoid that a little bit, but I was really trying to make sure that he didn't get that second set of torps off. So yeah, he died. So just doing the single file torps here, don't care, just need to let them see that, slow down, turn away, whatever the case is. I don't want their full broadside firepower on me, and in this case, the Moskva. And for those of you who haven't seen how this ship can do against the Moskva, it can do pretty damn well. So again, as I mentioned in the previous video, the Minotaur can't be overpenned by anything other than the Henry. So that's a really big deal because, now, of course, that would be a really big deal if I was facing him, but in this case, I'm trying to run away from him, so his AP is definitely going to be able to, be able to smash through a little bit more of the ship there. But we racked up a fair amount of citadels against him, and he's using HE, so at the very least in that scenario, we probably got away with maybe a few thousand more HP than we otherwise would have had. So just establishing here that I'm getting chased and harassed, and I'm getting really basically just kind of put into a little box, and these guys are they're all over the damn place. I can't get away from them between the 5.88 kilometer hydro and the 11.7 kilometer radar from these guys. It's such a huge pain in the ass, and I'm not sure exactly what type of ambition the Hindenburg has, so I keep him in place by launching very methodically single file torps. Single file, either way it's applicable. Sending those torps over at him, and while we try to engage the not the Minotaur, the Moskva over here, and get a couple citadels, get another one, get a couple more. So 18 citadels. I actually died at the very end of this, but I occupied the ever-living shit out of the Hindenburg's time, so totally wasted his match by basically having him try to chase me all around, all over the place. And so mission accomplished. And here, just trying to dislodge this Chapiev off the cap here, because I don't want him there anymore, and we need to keep our damn points. So just double checking the torp range. I always forget exactly how large that is, but we fly right by him, and there we go. Let's start racking up the citadels. Yeah, this actually turned out to be a pretty intense match, but yeah, as usual, ended up losing the good match, or the interesting one at the very least, which sucks, but that's kind of how this ship goes. You'll have a lot of really good matches that are really close, and then whatever, they fall to shit. I've had a lot of 1500 plus base XP losses, and here's an interesting situation, by the way. I'm gonna get spotted. There we go. Chapiev is spotting me there. Know that. I'm trying to make a push here, jump into that island here at B, and also trying to make sure that I'm not going to get focused by everything at the same time, and minimize my exposure while focusing my fire upon the enemy Chapiev here too. So kind of surprised I haven't hit him for a citadel yet, and finally we get one, but that's only 3200 damage. So this ship is more about stacking the citadels and stacking that damage rapidly in order to eliminate a target. So yeah, there's some ships over here. Iowa, there's a Republic, there's a Moskva to my immediate port side, and I'm kind of scared. I have no idea what's going to happen here. Chapiev is still alive as well, but the team over there at A seems to be focusing on him, trying to finish him off. So just checking his forward progress here. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to torp him, but we're going to hit C, switch to our rear turrets. We have the shots on them to be able to start landing the citadels, and they just started racking up, man. So 8 citadels there, pretty easy kill, and you know, nothing against that guy, but you know, that's one of the harder things about facing a ship like this that is as mobile and fires as rapidly as it does. You just got to be super careful about your side and make sure that if you're caught in a situation, you know, you're going to be able to make sure you back up. Like in that scenario, if he had just crashed into the island, that would have been fine. So we do have a Hindenburg coming through the gap here. I'm just going to dump my starboard side torpedoes, and I'm debating here whether or not to just go all for it. And since the Republic died, now I'm all in. So here we go. This is the HBK moment, and I got my port side torps, and amazingly, he was not paying attention to me. I don't know if he just perceived somebody else to be a bigger threat, but I dump my port side torps, throw my shells down against the Iowa, and I start turning hard to port because I need to start bringing my guns around to bear against the Hindenburg, who amazingly shot HE, and I get torps just landing left and right on the Iowa, managed to dev strike him, and we did take a lot of damage from the Hindenburg there, but not nearly enough since we just started to angle a bit, and again, he takes us for a little bit of a chunk there, but that moment that the ship can just push and seize the situation for what it is, and you know, throw down all this ordnance into the water and, you know, through the air is just, fuck, man, it's remarkable. And to me, this, again, I've said it before, and I will continue to say it over and over again. There is no ship like this in the game. There's nothing like it at all. You know, between what the guns can do against, especially, I mean, hell, even heavily armored targets. If you're aiming up towards the belt and the, you know, the upper belt armor where the deck meets the side there, holy crap, it can just absolutely ravage them. And by the way, this is another game, so throwing down at the Montana, right, across the map there over the island, just watching some stuff happen here, destroyers killing each other, that's great. We get a Citadel against the Montana. That happens from time to time. I've Citadelled like a Roma, I think it was, with this. It's just weird as hell, but throw enough shells and some weird stuff's gonna happen, right? And again, back to the Thunder of Guns video, I had a lot of people, well, not a lot, a few people like, how the hell do these guys not kill you? How did they let you get that close? Blah, 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 NA server sucks, blah, 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 NA server player, etc., etc. You know, stupid bullshit that I don't care about. So, this is why. And again, I've got tons of clips of this, and I could just show you the same thing over and over and over again. This ship cannot be damaged by, well, it can't be significantly damaged by anything other than the Henry by AP through the front. You want people to shoot AP at you when you're bow in like this. It's a huge deal. So we cut in along the side, start raking aside with the AP. Awesome. So now we've got a whole different situation here, as there's a GK up there. We're going to send one, specifically just one set of torps against him, because now that the plane is shot down, cool, maybe they'll have a chance to hit. We know there's a Chapiev over here, there's also a Rune, and I think there's a Shimikaze left still, or I don't know, something like that. But anyways, GK comes back around, and we're going to throw the torps closer to the island there because he's going to slow down, so wherever that torp lead indicator is, it should be closer. You know, that's where he's most likely going to end up. Again, most likely torp spotted by plane, that sucks, but I'm going for it. So we get one torp hit against the GK. Gonna hope for the best from the other set of torps while we go in, just all in against the Rune, dump our torps. And I actually thought that he was throwing his shells at me. He wasn't. He actually stuck to the torps and takes a dev strike, but check out that torpedo indicator. We get 4 more. All 4 torps hit the GK, and we are now in a decent position to be able to finish off the Chapiev. So that was 100,000 damage in just like a, you know, blink of an eye. That's amazing, and that's what this ship is so damn good at, and this is where it's not so great. Now granted, I'm kind of overshooting a few salvos here and there, but wow, just damn, this ship is capable. So, and that's just with the torps. And speaking of torps, let's get to our main event. So this is, again, Sea of Hope, which I think is a fantastically dynamic ship, I'm sorry, map for this ship and most cruisers. Battleships, not so much. And, you know, I think they're a bit more limited, and, you know, typically any battleship is going to be limited, but, you know, given the nature of what cruisers can do and their, you know, improved concealment, mobility, all that stuff. So I'm radared here by the Des Moines due north of me, between A and B. Don't really care. There's a Grosjevoy over here at the cap, and basically just trying to figure out where he is and throw the shells down to hopefully kill him. Obviously, just being able to hit him is nice, so just following the other shells there, seeing where he's going, you know, as far as the other ships that are able to hit him, and trying to react to that. Just scoot ahead a little bit in time, and he's exposed. I can't seem to get hits on him, and certainly not for the damage that I'm hoping for. So, and again, we're getting blocked by some objects here in the map, so, but it looks like he's taking some damage, and I was fully expecting to get the kill right there. Unfortunately, somebody else does, so, oh well. But, yeah, only you know, a few thousand damage, but he actually about 10,000, and that's actually pretty damn good, when suddenly a Missouri starts pushing in out of sea like a crazy son of a bitch, and we've got our destroyer over here to my starboard side that I'm just trying to help him out if I can. If we can keep him alive, that'd be great. We're probably radared by that Missouri. I don't think that we're radared by anything else. Turns out that he got a torp hit, but he does get killed in the process, and it's just, yeah, gotta get rid of him as fast as possible. Alright, whatever, he's dead. So now the enemy team starts to move in towards B, and we have a few ships over on the 2 line, and to me, I get what's happening there, but we got to get back towards the middle here if we can. They were doing a good job of just kind of keeping them pushed up and away, which is good, and now we've got this Des Moines spotted. We're going to go ahead and see if we can pick him off a little bit. I'm spotted by the Khabarovs, which is why I take a look over there to my left, and now that goes away. And unfortunately, we lose track of the Cleveland. So that's also kind of shitty, because we should be able to finish him off here real quick. And, you know, certain ships you definitely want to get out as fast as possible, because their DPM is so high that obviously a ship like the Minotaur or the actually the Hindenburg, or say the Des Moines, the Worcester, those would be really good targets to kill as fast as possible. Speaking of which, another ship comes out of sea and starts to push. So get a Citadel against the Worcester here, throw the torps ahead of time just to make sure that he doesn't get too close. Trying to aim underneath those turrets as well when he's broadside to try to get the Citadels. And this is it's a hard fight for the Minotaur, because, you know, again, HE, they can be a bit problematic, especially from a ship that has such rapid fire, and you know, typically these guys are running IFHE, but the Worcester does take, because it's so lightly armored, it does take some good damage from this ship, so it's actually a pretty interesting matchup in almost any scenario. But take a look at this congregation they have in B. I'm trying to figure out what the hell I want to do. I definitely need to use my heal at some point, and that point's now, and I'm trying to figure out, I've got my hydro, I've got my smoke. Let's see. Alright, or the Yamato, not the Musashi, his turrets are looking elsewhere, so if we decide to push out, we're going to be able to make that. And checking our torp angles and everything, making sure that we're going to have torps ready. The reload is coming up real fast, so we should be able to get these off. And, I mean, we're losing the match pretty handily at this point, so something's got to get done. So let's HBK this bitch. And we get the torps off the first set, and so I had no idea the all-saves was right there, so that's kind of a panic drop. I lay my smoke down and put it between myself and the enemy team. And it's, of course, if there's radar, whatever, I'm going to have to deal with it, but we're going to have shells coming in. Ooh, that's close. Ooh. And we get some torp hits. Okay, that's great, whatever. So the Alsace and the Yamato just fired. Let's go ahead and throw down our port side torp, or I'm sorry, starboard side torps, and just panic drop them, get them out there in the water, and we made it. Ah, well that's good. So we got a couple torp hits, and we actually have a flooding going on right now. We get another torp hit. Alright, so flooding's going on. Cool. From the rate of it, it actually kind of looks like there's 2 floodings going on. So there goes another torp hit, another torp hit, and that flooding just keeps racking up. And there's definitely multiple floodings going on. I think that there was actually only one going on before. So the Alsace is down. Cool. Alright. And then we get another. So the Moskva just took a beating from these torpedoes, and there's still flooding going on. And that's the Yamato, and I think that's actually just the Yamato. So yeah, he's in a world of hurt right now. So we are just trying to fade away. I want to get back in close, and then again we get plane spotted. So debating whether or not I want to dump the torps. I'm going to decide to hold on to them, and again see if I can fade away a little bit. Now we're down a lot. It's 2 DDs left, and a few battleships, and amazingly, Witherer. That may be the fastest period of time I've ever had Witherer accumulated, because it's from that first torp hit causing flooding to just then, and in that time we did over 60,000 damage in flooding. Holy shit, that's crazy. And that's the first time I've ever had it on this ship, that's for sure. So that was pretty amazing. But I'm deciding to turn back because, again, we still need something drastic to be done here in order to make something happen as far as securing a win. So just targeting the Yamato where I can, taking a look at what else is available. Kaparov's just showed up and he's in range, so just kind of moving up here as much as I can. I'm really nervous that the Yamato's going to pop out and detect me and lay down 460 millimeters of Imperial justice against me. So looks like the Kaparovsk is taking some damage, and he's going to start going forward again here just a sec once those shells start coming in, and once he starts taking a little bit of, well, I wouldn't say damage, he just kind of had a few shells bounce off of him. So trying to lead him a little bit more, and again, just try to remember we're down 400 points and 2 caps to 1. We get spotted by the Yamato. I try to cut back in as much as I can to break the contact and try to make it just that much more difficult for him to be able to target us. So gonna throw down on my starboard side here all of my torps in single launch position and just try to saturate the area as much as I can. Now it's time to start racking up the damage against his side, which is really easy to do with the ship against any of the tier 10 battleships. And ooh, that is so lucky. So he should be ours. We just gotta continue firing, and we managed to get a torpedo against him, and for the Kraken and the Liquidator. So we did a hell of a lot of damage to him from flooding, clearly. And we're at 216,000 damage, 5 kills. Yay, awesome. Man, at this point, I'm already exhausted. This was, yeah, I mean, I've got the adrenaline going. I sure as hell did not expect to survive that first set of torps, as the Kaparov shows up and those shells are just not going to get there in time. Let alone that second engagement against the Yamato. Praise the horn, everybody, because shit, at this point, I feel like I've won the match already. And, well, there goes another enemy ship, so it's 4v3, but again, we're still losing a lot, and I pop my smoke here thinking I'm going to be able to slow down enough to make this happen, and unfortunately I get error detected because the Massachusetts launches this plane, and I set this. Holy shit, how am I alive? Again, lucky as hell, but I send the first set of torps out ahead of him and the second set a little behind him. I tried to focus on the Yagumo because probably not going to be able to see him again. Finally get killed by the secondaries, but we managed to take out the Yagumo, and we damn near got the Massachusetts. If I just had those torps a little further back, I never thought I'd be able to get the first set of torps into the water in the first place. But holy shit, 270,000 damage, all these awards and stuff, and just dumping torps into the water and getting hit after hit after hit. And then we've got the situation here with the Khabarovsk trying to run away from the looks of things. I'm not really sure what he's doing. And the Henry going right after the Massachusetts. And that's when the Massachusetts opens up right on the front flip and just to take out the Henry, but Frat Star's fires there managed to take out the Massachusetts, and then I thought I turned these things off for the space battles, but apparently not. And there goes the Khabarovsk. So he managed 5 kills. I had 6. Holy shit, look at this. 1.1 million credits, 26,000 XP, 6,500 free XP. Jesus Christ. That was absolutely nuts, man. So the next video is going to be Ships and Giggles, and there will be more variety there, but I still have some Minotaur stuff to show you. So yeah, we'll get to more of that later. But either way, yeah, I mean, I know it's a lot of luck. I know it's a lot of positioning and skill and just chance. I mean, it's not just one thing, it's a cumulative amount of things, all the variables lining up to make crazy things happen, and our team really stuck with it that match to make that win happen. So props to Frat Star for pulling through as well. But thank you everybody, appreciate you watching, and I'll see you back here next time. Take care. And actually, shit, I meant to show this, or I couldn't find this earlier, and then I found it after I produced the video, so whatever, here's a bonus clip, alright? This was fucking hilarious. Oh man. Okay, so I'm in the Minotaur, and as you notice, I've got less than 3,000 damage, and if you take a look at the time in the top right, I've done nothing. I've had no chance to do anything. Our team is losing horribly, and the enemy team has this no problem, right? Alright, so we're gonna move up here a bit. I mean, given how this match is going, I'm basically committing to throwing my ship away. I wanted to see if we could get something out of this a little bit, and there's just, I'm too close to be able to get the shells over against the Moskva. I can't seem to finish off the damn Des Moines, and here comes the Yamato. So, you know what? Screw it. Whatever. We're gonna just go in and see what happens, right? So, decide to start pushing forward, and thank you, announcer, and I know the state of the game right now. We have a whopping 7,300 damage halfway through the match. Yeah. So we're spotted. I just throw one set of torps from my starboard side tubes, and Montana starts to throw his shells. He's got his rears out, and those are the best, of course. So naturally those do damage while the fronts do not, and they miss. Sweet. Alright. So I'm not entirely sure still what the Yamato plans on doing. So I decide to just kind of hug the island a bit, see if I can push this into an ambush situation. You know, that's where the ship is pretty much forged in fire, so whatever. Decide to pull off my hydro. I mean, who cares? Whatever. If I can get anything done against this Moskva, great. If I can't, whatever. Who cares? I lost my interest in this match a while ago, so throw out my remaining starboard torps, and not even zooming in. Booyah. That's a lot of citadels. There's a few more, and we only need one more. Gotta love doing that to that ship. And at this point, I'm cool. Awesome. Sweet. Now we've got the Yamato to focus on, right? And looks like we're going to be able to beat his turret traverse, or so I think. As we get some shells coming in right there. Bouncy, bouncy. How the hell did that happen? But unfortunately, we have torps coming in, and it looks like we're going to take a hit here as the Yamato takes some hits. And then I realize, holy shit, we're going to be able to get through this, and we might be able to get these off in time. But is the Yamato... Oh, overbends. That unlucky son of a bitch. There's no way we're getting out of this one way or another, right? But who cares? We did what we needed to do, and that was that. So I wanted to show that to you. I just forgot to add it until way too late. And there we go. Take care, everybody. See you next time.